Witnesses in the courtroom say that Prince Harry got visibly emotional during the very end of his testimony, right before he left, saying, "This is a lot." Wah! Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. And yeah, I guess I fully turned against Prince Harry. It's been a long journey. I was rooting for him in this case, and I'll admit that there is some suspect stuff, but I don't see any evidence, and I see them trying to just wave this wand of believing me, Jedi mind tricking, and this is a civil case. It's really up for them to prove that it probably could have happened. As we look here at what sort of even CBS is sort of declaring, this case is civil, not criminal, meaning that the standard of proof is different. Harry is seeking to convince the judge that on the balance of probabilities, his claims are true. So obviously in criminal cases, the judge or jury has to be convinced beyond a reasonable doubt. But no, they just need to show that it's more likely true than untrue. So I guess he does have a shot, but yeah, look, I know some are going to be mad that I even put this out there, but I feel like he's just playing victim, and I don't see anything in here that's really breaking the law. I mean, evidence of. Now, they might have. It seems like a lot of the press at the time were, but we need to talk about what actually happened. So let's go through the final little bit of testimony as Harry's own lawyer then began to question him. David Sherborne stepped up after the cross-examination. When Mr. Green said there's no call data in relation to Harry, Harry responded that was an incredibly risky thing to do to someone in his position. Mr. Sherborne asked, "Do you mean that no one did hack your phone?" And he says, "I believe they would have gone to extreme lengths to cover their tracks." I don't think that's unfair to say. Yeah, if they did this, they'd want to destroy any evidence and do whatever they could to avoid admitting it because it'll shut them down, just like I guess it did with News of the World. So yeah, they move on to 33 articles, and Harry says thank you to his own lawyer, who says he won't take him back through it all. So rough going through all the press stories. Paul Burrell, who's the former butler, I guess it was, or bodyguard of Princess Diana. There was a rift there between Harry and his brother, allegedly because of Paul Burrell. And so they asked again about sort of the former butler and the meeting and how Prince Harry wanted to give him a piece of his mind. An article published in the People in December 2003 reported that Harry was against a meeting where, as William was in favor of one to stop Mr. Burrell selling secrets about their mother. The article, written on December 28th, was after Christmas. Mr. Sherborne points out that asking where Harry spent that Christmas, most likely in Sandringham with my family. So 2 weeks later, you were still angry at Mr. Burrell, but you don't want to meet him, and your brother does. Can you explain why your position might have changed? Presumably based on the conversations that my brother and I had over Christmas. Presumably? You can even know that? That seems like a pretty iconic moment. You're old enough. You don't remember the conversation you had and whether you wanted to meet him or not. Dude, even in your own lawyer's queuing up these answers and you can't give us a definitive answer of whether you wanted to meet this guy or not. That makes no sense to me. Realms of speculation. Now the lawyer is asking Harry, this Harry Carey article, about the speculation that the story was obtained through unlawful information gathering. Turning to Harry's witness statement, he quotes a contribution request payment to John Ross, who is a private investigator, in reference to this article. Do you believe this is in the realm of total speculation? Harry's lawyer asks him. As Mr. Green said, Harry responds, "No, I don't. And it's even more destructive that it was used as a headline, I think, this morning against me." They then go on to say that in the Hooray Harry's Dumped article, Harry's lawyer refers to me as Project Harry invoice. Now, again, that was odd to me, mentioning previously, and Harry asks who Nick Buckley is. Harry responds, "Mr. Buckley is a prolific hacker. My name was on his Palm Pilot," Harry tells the court. "Do you think you were speculating about the unlawful information gathering?" Harry's lawyer asks. "No, I do not. I believe there was hard evidence." Previously, in last video, we talked about the fact that he said to the Mirror Group lawyer, "No, we don't have evidence. That's why my lawyers are here, to find evidence." So what is this hard evidence? I assume the defense had the same references, they say. And then it continues. Press have misled me my whole life. In this other article in September 2008, Mr. Sherborne, Harry's lawyer, goes through some invoices the claimants allege show evidence of unlawful information gathering. Do you believe that you were speculating when you suggested that unlawful information gathering had been going on in that story? No, I do not. I'm still getting over the last one, to be honest. For my whole life, the press has misled me, have covered up the wrongdoing. So to be sitting here in court and knowing the defense has the evidence in front of them and knowing Mr. Green is suggesting that I'm speculating, I don't really know what to say about that, Harry tells the court. What evidence? What evidence? What are these invoices and to who? And why aren't we talking about that more specifically? Spell it out loud. Don't just you're going to make us read this whole long document and not be like, right here it says in this invoice, this is a private investigator. Or are you just assuming that these private investigators, freelancers, did unlawful stuff? Do we have proof that they did it? Because you're saying it's hard evidence in front of us that even the defense has. What evidence? Someone, and I'm missing something and you're a Harry fan, please send it to me on social media at Andy Signore or Steph at the Alter Nerd, send it to her as well. I want to know what this crazy hardcore evidence is that proves Harry's case, because I'm just not seeing it yet. They're not providing it. Paparazzi stalked myself and William for over a decade, talking about a firm of photographers in relation to a story concerning the Duke and Caroline Flack, friend of his who also did not like the press and unalived herself. Harry tells the court he was suspicious of illegal activity. They talked and harassed us for well over a decade. I say us because they picked on my brother also. There was a huge security issue, always turning up at places before I got there. And my whole security team, as well as my brother, suspected consistent unlawful activity. He then goes on to tell the court about a chase with one of the photographers who he says was endangering everybody around him opposite the fire station on Kings Road, adding that this was not a normal paparazzi behavior. Just like the one in New York. Again, Chicken Little. It's like, I don't even know which ones are serious. What's serious, Harry? Every little knock on you, every report on you is serious, intrusive, against you. I mean, I just don't get it. I don't get it. I'm at a loss. Unusual activity on phone happened as soon as I had a mobile. Now, this is interesting. After finishing the examination, Mr. Sherborne, Harry's lawyer, asked, this is a very public courtroom with the media watching. How has it made you feel? It's a lot, Harry said. And this was, again, attributed, which I can go over here, to CBS and other breakdowns of this remark that, yes, he got emotional as he did this. Here we go. Now you can see it. Prince Harry was asked by his lawyer how it's going through, mentioning all these articles and how it's making him feel, knowing this is very public. After a pause, his voice breaking, Harry replied, it's a lot. The judge then asked Harry for a few more questions before he left. But yeah, voice breaking, getting emotional, seemingly teary. It's a lot. It's a lot. He holds it in. He keeps it back, holds back those tears because this has been so emotional for him. You buying this? Are you buying this? Or are you thinking like I'm thinking? Wah, I'm a royal. I need special treatment and I need sympathy. Wah, and privacy. Sympathy, privacy. Ah. I'm sorry. Yeah, you had me, Harry, but you lost me. You've lost me with all this. This case is just not good enough. And there's a lot of people, I'm sure, who are trying to get real cases through that I'm worried this is going to stop. We'll see. Maybe there's more that's going to unfold as this trial progresses, but we'll see. Mr. Justice, I guess the judge, then asked some questions about the unusual activity he identified on his phone that he takes as indicating unlawful activity. From the moment I had a mobile phone, my lord, Harry replies, clarifying this began when he was a schoolboy at Eton. It never stopped. I remember a lot of missed calls that lasted a second. I remember a lot of people asking me, did you get my voicemail and stuff like that? But I do not remember how consistent it was, Harry tells the court. But I remember when I was told that this was all hacking, it all made sense. Judge then asked, did it stop in 2011? I assume that's when they sort of found this law and sort of stopped doing it. The judge asked, did it stop? Harry replies, not that I can remember. So even after the phone hacking glitch and things are done, it still continued. Why? Because he's a damn celebrity. And yes, cell phones made it way more easy for people to track and have screenshots and record voicemails through cassette tapes if they needed to. There are so many other methods you can use mobile devices to then still get information from them. Based on other people who may have been doing the illegal activity. Look, I'm not here to even try to say that there was zero legal activity. I have said it on all my videos. I don't support the Mirror. I believe they probably did some very shady things. I agree with him, but he's got to prove it. That's what a core law is for. That's what due process is about. He's got to prove it. Until then, they're going to get away with this. So yeah, the fact that he still has it past 2011 is odd to me, and it's interesting the judge asked that. And then discussing an incident after a ranch in Argentina that Harry was in was swarmed with paparazzi. The justice asked what he remembers of it. Biggest memory that I have is the amount of paparazzi surrounding the ranch as I was at, and the local police suggesting the only way to get rid of them was to pay them off. He added if it was a security issue, they would try to get me at his home as soon as possible using some plan or diversion to make sure our cars weren't chased or swarmed from these individuals. Thank you very much, Prince Harry. That is the end of your evidence, Mr. Justice, Fancourt then revealed. So yeah, there you have it. This was Harry's, we'll still try to keep you updated on this trial and how it progresses, but Harry's portion is now over. And yes, we'll see what happens as more progresses, but here he is. It's a lot. What do you think? Do you buy this? Is this serious? I mean, Dumb Prince and his stupid wife is still trending next to Harry on trial. And this thing has become its own circus as Sky News. I'll be honest, I wanted to try and do this, but now I see it's already been done. Sky News has their own British ginger.
I believe that, again, as a child, every single one of these articles played an important role, a destructive role in my growing up.
Wow, great performance, sir. I'd love to reenactment. So if there's another fellow red-haired British individual that wants to read the transcripts with us, please reach out to me on social at Andy Signore, because it could be a lot of fun to read those. Maybe let's get Black Belt Barrister to play the lawyer. Come on, wouldn't that be great? Somebody help me find a nice redhead with a British accent, and you can help do it live with Steph this week or next week. But what do you guys think? Am I being harsh? Is this unfair to say that he's nearly crying over all these articles? It's so tough. Is this really that tough? Is this tough? Or is there a lot tougher in the world than what Harry's talking about and reliving some articles about his ex-girlfriend? Is that really that emotional? Is it? What do you think? Am I being too, have I now gone too much to the dark side? I want to hear your thoughts down below. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for all alerts, and smash that like button. Guys, I'm going to be out of town for a little bit. Leave the comments down below. I have banked some fun content for you. I hope you will see it when it drops. Hit that the notification bell, and that way you get alerted. And when you see the new content, some of it's a little bit banked. We're going to do some deep dives on some older stories. I hope you'll support it. That way you still get me for the next little bit. But I'm going on my honeymoon. And yes, I'm going to Istanbul to see the Hollywood Vampires on Saturday. I hope if all goes well. The tour still continues. So stay tuned. I will give you a recap from Istanbul and more. And Steph, the alternate, it's Kim Lewis. They'll all be here. Steph is taking over. Thank you so much for all the great work, Steph. Bravo to her. Go support Steph, the alternate, as well to get your royal coverage all the time. Subscribe over there. Hit the bells. And thank you guys so much for watching. I will be back. There'll be lots of content, and I'll be calling in live from time to time. But stay tuned. I'll be back in studio in a little bit. Take care, guys. More on Prince Harry and so much more is coming here on Popcorn Planet. Send us super thanks right down below. We accept those as well. Show your love if you like our coverage.